Link engaged.
Visit us at TeamSpeak.com.
Welcome back, everyone, to the TeamSpeak Team Liquid StarCraft 2 Open number 20. And, I think that was him typing in Korean, like when he accidentally had the English version on, like when you type WW. It's like when they're trying to type GG, but they have accidentally, like, you know, have a English version on of their keyboard. So yeah, it looks pretty funny when they do that. But welcome back. We are going to be in Game 3 here in the finals of the 20th Team Liquid Open. In the 12 o'clock position here, we have Carius, aka Zephyr, as our blue Zerg. In the 3 o'clock position, we have Hack, going to be our teal Terran, representing Team ZeNEXH, which has just been exploding, especially in a lot of the Korean tournaments that have been happening. We've actually seen, you know, there's the IC Cup Korean Weekly that I've been casting. ZeNEXH has been doing amazingly well in a lot of those, and they've had really good representation in the TL Opens over the past couple of weeks. So it's a really solid team. They're doing, they weren't doing as well in the GSTL at first, but they're getting better and better, and they're doing so well in all these tournaments. So it's nice to see all this, you know, really great Korean representation.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I love the fact that the Korean scene is becoming so much more connected with the foreigner scene. In Brood War, you know, we foreigners just like, we loved watching Korean StarCraft, but it's like almost like the Koreans didn't really know we existed. Now we're starting to see Koreans coming over to foreign teams. We're seeing a lot of Korean involvement in foreign tournaments. We're seeing a lot of Korean victories in foreign tournaments. And it's really pushing these foreigner guys to step up their practice and bring their games to the next level. So I really hope to see, you know, we saw it was 2 foreigners in the semifinals today against 2 Koreans, and both of them ended up losing. But we saw some good games. So you know, I can only hope that this new sort of Korean emphasis on foreigner StarCraft is going to make foreigners better, and I really expect that it will.
Oh yeah, I think so too. I mean, adding more competition is never anything but a good thing. You're playing against better players, you're going to be forced to play better yourself, and as we have more and more Koreans playing in, you know, international tournaments, international players are just going to have to get better and better to, you know, to compete with them. And I liked what you were saying about, you know, back in the day, it was like they didn't know we existed. I remember some statement from Boxer when, like, someone told him about all the foreign fans he has, and he was like, whoa, I didn't, like, wow, that's amazing, thank you guys so much. And, you know, back in the day, we had to sit on IRC, like, begging for a stream that someone would have of, like, the Korean matches.
Oh, man.
Nowadays, there's, like, you know, 100 streams live at all times on Team Liquid. It's so amazing. So, yeah, I'm really happy to see that it's starting to integrate itself so well.
Couldn't agree more. Global StarCraft is a beautiful thing. Anyways, we're seeing a very similar build coming out of Hack. That he, I guess, similar to what we saw in the last game. Going to be a Reactor Hellion opening, and I really hope that we see Zephyr respond a little bit differently this time. Get an extra Queen, get an extra Spinecrawler, get a Roach Warren. One of those 3 things would really solve the problem that he had in the last game. And if he just does, if he reacts accordingly, he'll be in much better shape. He'll actually get, you know, into a healthy mid game. Another thing I want to commend Hack on is how active he is with his Marines. His early Marines are always out and around doing something. Right now he's just checking around the outskirts of his base, sees that Overlord, pushes it out, and I fully expect him to walk these guys right down the ramp and go look for Overlords outside of his base, because that's what he did in the last game, and that's what he did in the first game, and that's just, you know, it's cool to see. And we do see extra Spinecrawler here from Zephyr, so it looks like he just like, I don't want to lose to Hellions
adapting.
Again. Bringing his Queen down, he's saying, you know, to hell with that crap. So.
Seriously, he doesn't want to lose to that again. It's a terrible feeling when Hellions get inside your base. Whichever way they used to get inside your base, it's just like, oh no! It's like when you hear the nuke sound or the, you know, the Nidus sound. It's just this awful moment that you can't really do much about. It's like too late. The damage has been done. So he is going to play it a little bit smarter this game. Sets up those 2 spawn crawlers. Could have a slightly, you know, better placement there, but otherwise, I like that he is starting to adapt now. Meanwhile, Hack is actually going to go ahead and add on that starport. I mean, he has already gotten his expansion almost up and running. So, you know, adding on the starport after just 1 barracks and 1 factory, do you think he'll maybe just go for really quick drops since we're at close positions?
I think he's going to go for Banshees. I think he's going to Hellions in the front, Banshees in the back.
That was the other option I was going to go for. And look how close that Overlord was to scouting that starport. That was ridiculous. But luckily, Hack, with his amazing, you know, activity with those Marines, as you were saying. What the Zergling? Where did that?
That's a bummer.
God. It came into his base out of nowhere.
Left the
and,
wall
oh my god,
down.
he cancels the starport.
So, oh no, not again! So the Hellions getting right up the ramp, but the Lings were there this time to answer, so they're not going to do any major damage. Wow, actually, Zephyr doing a great job dealing with these Hellions. So for a moment I panicked, but looks like these Hellions are going to get repelled fairly easily. We see the starport finishing up, the barracks lifting off of that tech lab. All of a sudden, I feel like Zerg's in a great spot, man.
Yeah, I'm looking around. He doesn't.
He's gonna Baneling bust. He's gonna all in a Baneling bust.
Yeah, he doesn't have an Evo chamber even on the way. No additional queens either. So yeah, he would actually have quite a bit of trouble with this Banshee that might have been on the way. But
no Banshee.
She went Viking first. Yeah. You know, I think he just canceled it altogether because he canceled one of the starports. So instead of going 2-port Banshee, now he's just going to play it more standard since he was forced to cancel that as it was scouted by that Ling. But he's got his expansion up now, and yeah, I think he's going to go for that Baneling. Look how many Zergans are coming in. There's no Hellions or anything in position. He doesn't even need
awesome
Banelings.
Wall, reactors, and supply depots. Yeah, this is huge trouble for Hack here. You know, I'm scratching my head here. I just can't really think of any way that he's going to be able to hold here. Hellions are not able to come out. There's not enough racks to produce units. Here come the Banelings. That wall's going to get busted right now, and immediately GG out of Hack. Excellent play there from Zerg. I want to talk about it just a little bit. Terran's opening was Reactor Hellion, and it looks like he wanted to go into Banshee, right? I mean, that's what it looked like to me. That's what it looked like to you. You said that there was a second starport. I didn't see that, but you said there was a second starport that got canceled. Terran was investing in a very, very tech-heavy all-in, right? So in this kind of a situation, he's foregoing a big early game army to get all that tech out. He's not going to have anything to defend with. So a Baneling bust is an incredibly intelligent response to that. A Roach all-in would have been another great way to counter that. You know, Zephyr opting for the Baneling play, and it just worked out beautifully. He defended the Hellions, no prob, and he was able to get he was able to bring counter aggression long before Terran was able to get any units out to deal with it.
Yeah, I agree with you. That was such a good decision. As you said, when you go for that early tech, you're not going to have those units. So I think if he was going to play a little bit risky like that, go for that early tech. You know, you got to be cognizant of the fact that some kind of all-in could be coming from the Zerg, especially if you don't get ideal scouting information. You can't get those Hellions up the ramp that time. So if you're not going to go for a scan and you're not going to go for your units, you got to play it safe, get some bunkers up, do something there, because just floating your command center down and just taking the expansion when you have no units whatsoever to defend it is not going to really work out that
I would
often.
go a step further and say that in that situation, there was nothing Terran could have done to defend. He invested in tech, and Zerg countered it perfectly. It wasn't a build order loss, it was just a perfect counter. It's like, you know, when you play against the same thing so many times, like say if we're playing PVZ and you keep killing me with Mass Zealot, and I say, you know, to hell with this, I'm going to go one base Baneling. You're going to lose to that. Because all you have to defend with is Zealots. It's an intelligent way to counter what his opponent was doing, and I really want to commend Zephyr for recognizing what was happening and just doing everything right. I mean, I guess
it all came down to that Zerging scout, man.
Yeah, I could be reading too much into it, but like you said, that Ling got into the base, saw what was happening, and he said, "Bam! I can kill this with a Baneling bust." GG.
And that was it, man. He won the game with one Zergling. That's what happened. Like, I mean, that's really what happened. I mean, because without that scouting information, he couldn't have made that decision. So. One Zergling did kind of just win him the game. Just, you know, obviously the Zergling itself didn't win him the game, but the fact that he was able to get that scouting information there, and that also was just unfortunately a big misstep by Hack. You know, all he really had to do was lift that supply depot, and the Zergling never would have gotten to the base, never would have seen any of that information. So unfortunately, that was just kind of a mistake by Hack, allowing Zephyr to take advantage of it.
Yeah, it was a great game. It was awesome. It was just very it was high level decision making, and I'm impressed, man. I'm impressed with the Zerg play there. It was very well done. But anyway, before we get too carried away talking about you know, a little mind game and a Baneling bust, let's hit a commercial break, and we'll be back with game number 4. Wow, game number 4 in this epic best of 5 between ZeNEXHack and ZephyrPrime.